Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Celtics and the Nuggets and if they're a lock to make the finals.
Especially after this weekend that we saw the Celtics destroy the Warriors and the Nuggets beat the Lakers once again. Feels like more than ever people are sure it's going to be Nuggets Celtics, and for good reason, bro. The Celtics this season have had the most dominant season since the 2017 Warriors. The Nuggets, they won last year and they have looked like they haven't missed a single beat. They're just as dominant, and them beating the Lakers so easily for the 8th time in a row, it kind of just proves that, because even though I know some people are going to be like, oh, obviously going to beat the Lakers because of the record, but we all know that the Lakers are a top 3 contender in the West, and the Lakers play really good that game.
A big reason for that is their execution down the stretch. I think when it comes time to it in the clutch, no team is better, and I think we saw it against the Lakers.
Yeah, so we're going to do this video. We're going to go team by team, and we're going to talk about their biggest weaknesses, their biggest competitors in their respective conferences. And we're going to see is this really a log as many people think. So we're going to start with the Celtics right now. Like we were saying, they're 48-12. They have won 3 games at 50 points, which is like, I'm pretty sure it's a record. I don't know if other teams have done that.
They're on an 11-game winning streak as well.
And like, I mean, they're on a winning streak every other day. Like, it really does feel like the Warriors. That's how the Warriors were back then. But when it comes to the Celtics, we're not as bought into them as other people, and it's because we have kind of seen this story before. Obviously, their team is better than it was in the past years, but they should have won it in 2022. They should have beat the Heat last year. And at the end of the day, your 2 best players are still Tatum and Brown. And I don't know if I can still fully trust them to come up close in the big moments against the other superstars.
I think the best thing they did, and we've talked about it before, is get Porzingis. I mean, the way that he's able to stretch out the defense, especially like a guy like Bam Adebayo, who was basically allowed to do whatever he wanted when they were going up against the Heat defensively. And then obviously you got Derek White and Drew Holiday. Shout out to Drew Holiday. I just want to give him a big shout out because he's probably sacrificed more than anybody else on the team. And that's because he knows how to win. That's the guy on the team that actually has won before. He knows the sacrifice that it takes to win. And if they're going to make it, is because of those 2 guys.
Yeah, what sucks about Porzingis is that we actually put it here as one of the biggest weaknesses is his health.
Yep.
A lot of the games that I watched with the Celtics, Porzingis goes to the locker room all the time.
Yeah.
And he just has a fight in your history. They didn't even play yesterday against the Warriors. And yeah, they were able to win anyways, but I think, like I was saying, in a series against the Heat, when Bam Adebayo causes so many problems for you, being able to stretch them out is super key. If you put them the Heat against the Celtics right now, it should be a lock, but I don't think it is. And I think besides the Heat, the Bucks is a bit more up in the air. They have been playing better after the All-Star game. But I think we're having Lillard and Giannis, that's not something you can dismiss.
I genuinely think they can out-talent every single team in the NBA, every single team in the East. I really do think they have the talent to beat every team just on talent. But when it comes to the Heat, and the reason that they're so good is just because of how smart their players are, especially a big part due to Eric Spoelstra being just the smartest coach in the league. And the fact that he knows exactly what to do, where to be, where his players need to be, and how to out-scheme the other team.
Especially like Joe Mazzulla wasn't really proving himself.
Exactly. I would say he's one of the lesser coaches in the NBA, in my opinion. That's why, to me, the only team that really, really scares me against the Celtics is the Heat. The Bucks, too, in a little bit, but the Bucks, I would say, is more because of the talent. I think they're a team that can maybe compete talent-wise, especially if everybody's healthy, like Chris Middleton, which we haven't really seen this season.
With the Bucks, Lillard has had really good playoff performances, but the worst he ever had was against Drew Holiday. Lillard's not only going to have to go against his best defender of all time, Drew Holiday, also Derek White. Honestly, the Bucks, I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to lose.
Yeah. So
it's really going to come down to the Heat and the Celtics. I could see the Bucks maybe beating the Heat.
Yeah.
But I can't really see him beating the Celtics. But I could say he beating both of them. Going back to the point though that I made earlier about the 2 superstars. Tatum, bro, I'm another fantastic year. I do agree that he should be in the MVP race. And Jaylen Brown is 100% an all-star caliber player. A two-way player. Yes, the left hand. Yes, the dribbling, the turnovers. But at the end of the day, he really is a good player.
Tatum is weird for me because he's had some incredible playoff performances, but he's also had some really bad ones.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to gauge where he's going to come from. And I think it's just the way that he plays. We talked about it before. I think just our last video, we talked about the fact that I think he takes too many jump shots. And that's always been a problem that he's had. But obviously when it's falling, one of the best players in the NBA.
I mean, Game 7 against the Sixers, he dropped 50
points
easily. I hold against him the way he played against the Warriors. Yeah. And also, bro, they were down 3-0 against the Heat last year.
Yeah.
Like, that was embarrassing as hell. And they were way better. And I know they're better now, but still, I can't. And like, I just can't put that behind me yet.
I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum together, I think it's still a weird fit, and I don't know if they necessarily complement each other the best. And with him, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't trust in him. Like, I just don't trust him, like, at all. Like, that's plain and simple. I can't really point to anything specific. I just can't really trust him. Yeah, at least.
But if he does go out there and they're able to win the championship, then I think he has the potential to be the best player in the NBA.
They just gotta win. Tatum.
Tatum, yeah. And bro, if the Celtics go out there and they lose to Heat once again, like at this point, I don't want to hear anything about them. It's
Yeah.
gonna be embarrassing. People should flame them. They haven't earned it yet. They haven't earned it. Yeah, they got the they could be undefeated right now, but until I see you make it to the finals and win, I can give you full respect.
Totally agree. Next, let's move on to the Denver Nuggets, the champs. There's really not much that I can say about them. You guys know how good they've been playing. Obviously, they took like a little bit of a break before the All-Star game, but I think that was just like they were just bored. Honestly,
Yeah,
it
they
felt
were
like,
really getting bored. I think now the first seed is up for grabs,
Yeah.
and also the MVP for Jokic. I know Jokic doesn't care that much. At least he doesn't show like he cares. I mean, I believe he's gonna win it, and they get the first seed, he's gonna win it 100%.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. A third MVP in 4 years.
possibly a second championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic really has the opportunity to go down as one of the best players
Like a top 10 player
of all time. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And if the Nuggets continue to be this dominant, he could make a case as the greatest player of all time. Right now, it's hard to see that just because obviously we've seen what LeBron has been able to do. We've seen what Jordan obviously has been able to do. But if he continues down this path, and the Nuggets, they're pretty young. If they continue with this core, I don't see many teams reaching that. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? So if they continue down this path, I really do think that he has the opportunity to become one of, if not the greatest player of all time.
Especially at least center-wise. He can
Yeah,
definitely be like top 3 all time. And, bro, talking about the holes, we had to kind of like, we had to search for something.
Yeah.
The first one is Jamal Murray, who has had the best season of his career. But we always talk about it. One of the biggest reasons that they won the championship last year is because Murray becomes a superstar.
We know how good Jokic is. He's won MVP. He's been an All-Star,
As
All-NBA.
consistent as they come.
Yes.
As consistent as they come.
What really hurt us in particular in that Celtics series, in that Lakers series, was just how much better Jamal Murray became. When a player outplays what he's played like in the regular season and the rest of his career so much, that gets you mad because like, bro, you're not like that, bro. Stop. And he did it 4 times in a row. I'm gonna put his stats up here, what he did in the Western Conference Finals. Bro,
It's impressive, bro. It's insane.
it's incredible.
What the
Bro,
freak?
last year in the regular season, we talked about it. He was playing like D'Lo, bro. In the regular season, like they were right there. But then in the playoffs, we saw
Superstar,
he became a superstar. That's the killer. That's what really kills you.
And you can't win like that, bro.
You can't, because if you have 2 superstars as good as they are executing at the high level with that pick and roll that is unguardable, you can't win. You can't beat them. That's why they're so dominant. It's like Shaq and Kobe.
They're one of the best 1-2 punches I've seen in a while. I'm saying the duo fits so perfectly. Obviously, you can point to like obvious ones like Curry and KD, but I'm talking about like duos that are not the biggest names, but it's just fit. Oh my gosh. But we still put it as like a possible hole because it could, and I don't think it is. It could happen if he plays more to what we see in the regular season.
Yeah.
Then the Nuggets become a bit more mortal. But I don't think so because there's nothing that points to that happening.
Yeah, I mean, he's played great at every playoffs that he's been.
And then the other thing is that they lose Bruce Brown. I know it hasn't really affected them, but maybe in like a playoff series, for example, like the Lakers have a better bench than them.
Yeah.
I know injuries have kind of not really made that a problem. But let's say the Lakers are fully healthy, or maybe like the Clippers or a team like that.
Yeah.
There could be a time that Jokic comes out of a game.
He gets into foul trouble.
Gets into foul trouble, and you got to put in your bench. Your bench not as good as the other teams, and then maybe the team goes on a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that we really have to pick. What we'll say.
I think with the Bruce Brown thing, having Bruce Brown, it's just having another guy that you can trust. I mean, a lot of coaches are looking for guys that they can really trust, and I think they had obviously their 5 starters, plus Bruce Brown. I think those were the 6.
Jack Green sometimes.
Yeah, and they lost both of them.
Exactly.
And those were the 2 guys off the bench that they could really, really trust, especially when Jokic sat out. Usually Aaron Gordon played the 5, and having the ability to play Jeff Green, who's a forward, who's a big forward, and Bruce Brown, who's a guard, but he's a big guard. He's a good defender and stuff like that. Being able to play guys like that, that really helped open the floor.
Yeah,
for
for example, part of the reason that D'Lo became unplayable was because somebody like Bruce Brown was attacking him. But if you don't have a guy who can attack D'Lo like that, then D'Lo can stay on the floor and he can provide offense.
His biggest replacement was a guy like Payne Watson or Christian Brown. But those are obviously guys that are just spot-up shooters, and Payne Watson's not even that good of a shooter. I do know that Reggie Jackson has played good for them this year, and we can shout him out because that's good. But
I don't trust him really in the big moment.
Yeah, and it's not even that you don't trust him. It's just he's not the defender that Bruce Brown was at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Their biggest competitors for us, just off the top of our heads, they don't really have one. I think they're, to me, the clear-cut favorites in the West and damn near in the NBA. But if we had to pick someone, the biggest one to me will be the Wolves. I think they have the size to compete against them. They have size to put on Jokic, on Aaron Gordon, stuff like that. And even like a Jaden McDaniels or an Anthony Edwards to put on Jamal Murray. They have a lot of bodies.
It's just a lot of size. A lot of size. And then moving on to your team, the team that actually beat them twice, in the playoffs, they're the only team that beat them twice, correct?
Yes.
In the Suns, And when it comes to the Suns, I don't see him actually beating them, but I see him sitting a game or two just because they do have so much scoring. And we talked about it earlier. One of the best ways to beat the Nuggets, you can't really stop them. Might as well try your best to outscore them.
Yep.
And if you have KD, Booker, and Beal all going off at the same time, you don't know what could happen.
And the last one that we wanted to add was the Clippers, mostly because they do have some size with their bigs.
Two good centers.
Yeah, three.
Three actually,
yeah.
Right? And also even like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they're like big players that play good defense.
My biggest thing with them is they don't have a big physical four, and I think that might be necessary.
I
for
get
that
what you're
team,
saying.
But that's the only thing.
The Clippers, they're just a good defensive team.
And they're a really good offensive team too.
Give me your prediction right now. Are we gonna see Celtics Nuggets in the finals?
Right now, man, I gotta say yes. I think that the Celtics are playing so good, and obviously it's tough to trust them. But I think what they're putting up, the stats and the numbers and the wins that they're putting up, it's tough to say no. And from the West side, I think it's the Nuggets for sure. I think they're gonna win a championship.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna win the
I
championship.
do think the Nuggets are gonna win the championship again, but I'm gonna actually say no for Celtics. I'm gonna say Heat are gonna beat the Nuggets like that.
But you always say that, but I'll be shocked.
The thing's like I've been saying it, and I'm usually right when it comes to the Heat. I can't count out the Heat, bro. I just can't. I think that Butler is gonna play like a monster again in the playoffs. He's gonna outplay Tatum, and I don't know, but I have a really good feeling about this team. I think that Terrell Rozier, that's an underrated.
You think
player.
they can win the championship? I don't think so.
And I think if it's not the Nuggets making it to the finals, and even the Lakers, I know that sounds crazy, but if it's like another one of those teams that they're not fully, the Heat play good against teams that are not too experienced, that have flaws, that exposure can, put his knife into. But if they go against the Nuggets, there's no chance. It really is all matchup based because the Lakers I'll pick the Lakers almost over anybody else.
I'll say that to me they're like the second team.
Yeah, 100%. I know people might be like, "What? How can you say that?" But bro, come on, think about it, bro. The Lakers have played good against every other good West team against the Nuggets.
East team too.
100%.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us your thoughts. Who's gonna make it to the finals this year in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, and peace out.
Peace out.